Steve Clemons. I direct the American Strategy Program here at the New America Foundation, and we're doing this blog clip for the Washington Note. I'm here today with a friend, Senator Lincoln Chafee, who right now is a distinguished visiting fellow up at the Watson Institute for International Studies at Brown University. Of course, he was the senator of Rhode Island in the U.S. Senate. He's now helping to organize Republicans for Obama, and he's published this important book, chapter 13 of which I'm absolutely in love with. It deals with John Bolton, but the book is Against the Tide: How a Compliant Congress Empowered a Reckless President. I want to spend a few minutes just asking Senator Chafee a few things.
Thank you, Steve. It's a great book, a political thriller, I call it.
Political thriller. It's a page turner. I want to ask you a question. The big question is, you've been through this. You've been through the currents. You were in one of those targeted positions of being a reasonable, moderate Republican. It's almost like being a conservative Democrat in such circles, that we're losing the middle in American politics. And as you look forward, what do you see? I mean, before you were sort of seduced into the Bush-Cheney camp because of their promises during a campaign. As you look at these campaigns, are you a bit more jaded? Is your bar higher?
Oh, definitely. Having been, as you said, a supporter of Bush-Cheney, hoping he'd be more like his father, hearing his words, "I'm a united, not a divider," that he'll have a humble foreign policy. These were promises that I expected him to keep. Foolish me. We're going to regulate carbon dioxide. These are comments that the candidate for president made. Humble foreign policy, I'm a united, not a divider. We will regulate carbon dioxide. And from day one, went back on those promises. So yes, I'm a little more jaded.
Well, John McCain in his speech in St. Paul did, in I thought, a rather humble speech compared to what I was expecting, did reach out to Democrats. Of course, Barack Obama, if you're involved with Republicans, or overall Obama's been reaching out. Why should we be suspicious of this reaching across the aisle that both sides are doing?
I don't think we should be suspicious. I think that's what the American people want, ultimately. And Senator Obama certainly, through his primary campaign, was very careful in not shredding his opponent, because he knew ultimately we're all going to have to work together. And yes, these are hard-fought campaigns, brass-knuckle, back alley fights sometimes, but you want to be able to come out of it with some respect that you've gained from the other side, because ultimately you have to work together to get anything done.
I've listened to you recently, and you make a very strong case that America's national security, foreign policy portfolio, and its economic domestic policy portfolio are just in tatters. That a lot of the gains that had been made in the past have been ripped apart. What do you think would be a couple of the things you think on the foreign policy side, and maybe even on the domestic if you want, to share with us? What are the 2 or 3 front-loaded issues that you think we could begin to getting back on a positive track?
Well, number one is our credibility. I mean, it seems as though it's okay not to be honest with the American people, whether it's torture or warrantless wiretapping, or as I mentioned earlier, I'm a united, not a divider. We're going to regulate carbon dioxide. Or we're going to have a viable, contiguous Palestinian state in the West Bank. These are all words with nothing behind them. And it's not okay, from my point of view, and I know that other Americans believe that as strongly as I do. No, it's not okay to be dishonest. So that's job number one. Repair our credibility domestically and internationally. Our allies around the world, they want to be able to trust America. And I feel that we're a confident, strong country. We can deal with friend and foe alike. We're a strong, confident country. It's not any kind of a liability to be talking to anybody. We're strong and confident America. Of course, we talk with anybody.
You know, Zbigniew Brzezinski has said that our challenges in the Middle East, self-inflicted as they may be, are the defining challenges for the United States in this era. How we do there is how the rest of the world will look at us. Brent Scowcroft has similarly said that the distractions of Iraq have cost us so that other potential peer competitors have opened up around the world. How do you look at this question of the Middle East and of America's concerns vis-a-vis Russia, China? What do we need to do to get back on track?
Yes, you're right. The Middle East is the core of so many international issues with China, Russia, and the repair work is going to be enormous. It starts with people being able to trust us and building the international community back on our side. I think that's key. And I always believe that those that live in the neighborhood, and that would be King Abdullah in Jordan, Mubarak in Egypt, they're the most important voices to hear. They live there. And I've listened to my time in the Senate, particularly King Abdullah, and he's always made sense.
Hmm.
And they're going to be important as we go forward.
Link,
People that live there.
Yeah, Link, you were a horse farrier at a racetrack. You shoed horses. You were also a mayor of a small town in Rhode Island. What do you think? Everybody's talking about Sarah Palin. Can Sarah Palin, what do you think about Sarah Palin? Do you think, should we be concerned given her seemingly limited experience? It seems you did okay. You didn't win your seat, but you were an amazing voice for sort of a sane and stable foreign policy. What do you think about Sarah Palin?
Yeah, I do think she's dangerous for the future of the country. I mean, such limited experience and sharing that aggressive, belligerent approach to the world, that's not in our long-term best interest. It's a dangerous planet. Nuclear weapons, a tremendous capacity of destruction exist, and it's going to take someone with some wisdom and the ability to see gray sometimes, and the lessons of the Cold War are sometimes containment can work, and new generations come along, the Gorbachevs come along, and we haven't fired missiles at each other and killed each other. That's the lessons of the Cold War that we seem to have ignored.
Right.
The lessons that worked.
Right. Well, Link, I want to thank you for spending some
Thank
time
you,
with
sir.
us, talking to
Thank
us
you
about your book
very
today.
much.
Come back.
I
Come
will.
back and keep
Anytime.
at it. Thank you very much.